Here's how to make any foundation, even a $10 foundation, look absolutely flawless on our mature skin by applying it with a brush. Hi, how are you today? If we haven't met, my name's Dawn from Just Doing My Best. I'm here every week with a brand new video for women over 40, women over 50 who just want to look and feel our very best. If you're like me, grew up in the 70s, the 80s, going into the 90s, and pretty much drugstore makeup was really all we had to work with. We thought that only our grandmothers got their makeup at the department store. But in the 90s, we started seeing more expensive department store brands of foundation. And I think in our heads, we thought, oh, well, they're selling it at the department store. It must be better. I truly believe there are some fantastic drugstore foundations out there. Today, I'm going to use the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. I'm going to show you how to make just about any foundation look absolutely phenomenal on your skin by applying it with a foundation brush. I have 5 super simple tips. We're going to use this foundation. Let's get started. First, let's talk about why we're not using our hands. If you feel like you're getting a great foundation application with your fingers, absolutely don't stop. I feel like when we apply foundation with our hands, we're wiping. Then you're wiping away moisturizer, sunscreen, if you use a primer. And so then that can lead to very patchy foundation. That's why I don't like to use my fingers. And also, not one of my 5 tips, but I like to apply a primer to my skin before foundation. You can watch this video here where I talk all about primers, but basically in a nutshell, if you're having problems with fine lines, wrinkles, large pores, texture, a primer just smooths everything, just gives you a really smooth canvas, gives your makeup something to stick to, gives it some staying power. Today, what I'm going to do is just really quickly, I'm going to use a spot primer. I'm just going to use it under my eyes. This one's pretty new. This is a Wet n Wild Cooling Hydra Depuffer for eyes and face, and it has caffeine. Oh, girl. I need some caffeine underneath my eyes because it really helps with the darkness. Vitamin E, I don't have my glasses on. Green tea oil and hyaluronic acid. So it's cooling and moisturizing. So I'm just going to use it around the fine lines of my mouth, around my nose, and then under the eyes. But if you wanted a full-on face primer, this is one of my favorites right now, and it's the NYX Blur Screen, and it's an SPF of 30. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this little cooling gel, do underneath my eyes, around my nose and my mouth. That's it. All right, let's jump in to tip number 1. Tip number 1, I don't know if this is focusing well, but I like a short, dense brush. Brushes don't absorb all of the product, and so it really just deposits the product on your face, which is exactly what we want. So I like a short, dense brush, and this one is from Sigma Beauty, and I will absolutely link it down below in the description. Tip number 2, if you watch any of the young makeup gurus on any of the other channels, a lot of them like to take the foundation and deposit it on their face. Please don't do that. That just gives you a really high concentration of foundation in a particular area. And remember, we want to deposit the foundation on our mature skin exactly where we want it. So tip number 3, what we're going to do instead is I'm going to apply the foundation to the back of my hand and pick it up from there with my brush. Tip number 4, please, please, please apply your foundation in light layers. You're not buttering bread, okay? We want to get the product from the back of our hand onto the brush, evenly distributed in the bristles, because you might not need all of that product. So just apply it in light layers, concentrating on the areas where you need it the most. And then once I get a good bit on, then I can go back and just assess. Okay, where are my problem areas? Where are my sunspots? Do I want to add more to that? Am I looking for more of a my skin but better finish, which is what I'm usually looking for? So I am not always looking to cover those 100% because I don't think that looks natural. By the way, using a brush tends to give you a more full coverage effect because the bristles don't absorb all of the product. Where using a makeup sponge, a lot of people you see use makeup sponges or beauty blenders, those tend to absorb a little bit more of the product, giving you a more natural finish. I love the finish that a brush gives you. Before we get to tip number 5, I have a couple of bonuses for you. First of all, if you've watched some of my other videos before, you've probably heard me say this before, but I don't apply foundation just above and just below my eye. Our eye area, the skin is so thin and can only absorb so much product. After that, it needs a place to go. So if you find that you have a lot of creasing, maybe you're just more oily. My skin is very oily. Even my mature skin, very, very oily. So I like to leave off foundation just above and just below my eye and just save that area for concealer. Additionally, you say, maybe I just applied just a hair too much. Then what you can do, take your damp beauty blender and just bounce it off of your skin. And you can't see it very well, but there's just a hint of foundation on this. You know, especially if you got too close to your under eye area, bounce it off and it'll pick up any excess. I need to get my forehead. By the way, if you're enjoying these tips, of course, I would love you to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. But also come over and find me on Facebook or Instagram at Just Doing My Best. Come say hi over there. Okay, here's my 5th tip. You want to get all of that product in the bristles of the brush, and then you want to stipple it on. Think bounce, like bounce that brush with the foundation. This is what happens when I do my hair first. I shouldn't have done that. In real life, I put my makeup on and then do my hair. Stipple the foundation on, and that way it's very intentional and it goes just exactly where you want it to go. I'm not swiping. I'm not moving around whatever I have underneath, primer, sunscreen, whatever. I'm not moving that. I'm just tapping the foundation into place, and that makes it gorgeous, gorgeous coverage. We do not want our face and our neck not to match. All right, let me go finish my makeup and show you the finished look. Before I forget, I did want to say that I get asked a lot what colors I'm wearing on my lips. I am using the e.l.f. Sun Boss Gloss. This has an SPF 25. It's a slightly opaque lip gloss. I love it. And I found a lip liner that I'm absolutely loving. They don't give you a lot of color options. I think there are only 4, and I'm using the lightest color, but I can only find it right now on Amazon. So I will link that lip liner and this gloss also down in the description below. These are my 5 tips how to make any foundation look fantastic, even if you only paid $10. Watch this video next. One of my absolute favorite new foundations that I found. Go out today and be blessed and do your best, and I will see you in the next video.